Okay, so I'm starting to attach my granny squares here like I did in the first video, and I'm not going to go through all of this. I've had a lot of requests to explain how I finished off my corners of the project when I had, for instance, 4 squares, and I just whipped up a few mini squares. I'm going to attach all of these like I did in the more detailed video on this invisible join. So I've just started here, and I'm just working into each of my stitches down to show you how I'm going to actually work into the last part of this. So I'm going to go off camera to finish this part of it, and when I come back, we're going to go through and I'll explain how you do those the corners so that those all remain squares with a square look at the end. So continue working up your project, and if you need more detail on this join, I do have a standalone video that gives more detailed explanation as to how I join. It's really super fast and easy, and it's not going to take you longer than any other join. I promise you on that. So maybe just to get started so that you get used to what you're doing. But I'll come back in here when I've got the 4 squares attached, and we'll move on. Okay, so here I am in a corner area, and when I finish my squares after I get this tightened, you're not going to see the brown. Right now I have things folded down, but once I get things tightened, you're not going to see it. Assuming that you don't have any tails on your grannies and that you've cleaned those all up before you're working in your granny squares, you can leave those tails and work it in to your corner if you like, or you can work it in with your other piece, your connecting yarn as well. And how I've done this is I'm basically just working a circle and then getting back on track with my squares. So when I pull them, it's going to pull all of that together into a square. So I can come into, like, if I get to the end of my granny here on my join, where my 4 corners are, and it might be a little confusing at first, so bear with me. I'm just going to come back into here, into this side, and you're just making sure that your stitches are lined up still, you know, that we are, whoops, okay. We're in that center section of our join of our squares. So I'm coming over here, and then I'm going to come into this section, and I'm not going to be doing it like skipping stitches like I was, because I'm just joining this corner here. So I'm going to come into that same where I came up, not the same. You don't want it to, the stitch to pull through, but we're coming in and up. And like I said, you won't have this tail here if you've already joined that. So we're just coming in through a circle and working a circle. This may seem like a little more work, and oops, I'm coming, okay, so I started here, and I came here, and now I'm coming around into this one, because they're all sections of the, stay under your stitches too, because you don't want it showing at the end. So we're just working our middle sections, our join sections, to get them down and in place. And then I'm back on track to start connecting elsewhere. So now I've finished my corner. I'm going to fold my project down, and I'm going to start working, making sure, of course, that I'm in the right stitch area, which I am. The whole key to this is keeping your stitches lined up, guys, so that you are working. I got a tail stuck in there. keep your stitches lined up so that you're working your, there we go. You're working an even granny square here. So we're coming in to this stitch, and I'm sorry, I'm doing this with a camera, so it's a little confusing here, but hopefully, oops, whoa. Hopefully you understood what I did there in that corner. I basically just worked a circle around. So I'll show you the alternative when I get to the end of this real quick. I'm going to look over my camera so you can see this better. Okay, and I don't know how well I've done that top part because I did most of that on camera. So, these are the brown yarn that I used to join all of this in. So, I apologize if you can see the yarn in this. I did this kind of quick so that I could show you in the video, but basically when you've joined your squares, and this is not closed off yet, so this will just continue on, but then when you've closed that, you have your center point of your squares. So you basically just worked in a circle around, and you want to make sure when you get to that end that you pull that tight so that it's hidden. If it's a different color, it's hidden like the rest of your joins. Okay, and one other thing that you can do, it's the same process, so you're going to be doing the same thing, but if you have not finished off your granny squares, if you still have these tails on the end, because I already worked in my middle tail for my granny square, but if you have these tails on the end, just make sure that any connecting piece has a tail in that section so that you can use that tail. And I'll just show you again real quick using this tail. I've already got it joined with the darker brown, but you can use this tail, and what I do is I just go into these stitches. I go underneath where you can't see, in between, okay? And I still work that circle. So you wouldn't have to do that with a darker brown yarn. If you still have your tails here, you can just, you know, hide in the darker color or the other yarn that you connected the squares with. And then I'm coming across to the upper square here. You're never gonna see, even if this is a different color, you'll never see this coming through because we're actually going through the stitches, and I just work this in a circle through, and you can actually end it anywhere you like because this one is the same color as a granny square, so you can just take it along to the back of your project. I stop in the same section I started in. You see you have that no-see join there, but then you can take it back to the back and work it into the other stitches to finish it off real fast. And it's so tight in the middle there, you don't have to do a lot of hiding. That's a really nice thing if you have tails from your granny square. But if you're like me, I was happy to finish off those granny squares in full, so I didn't have any tails really from my granny square. So my contrast yarn, the color I was using to join my pieces on the blanket that you saw in the picture, is what I used to work my center joins. Now, once I've blocked this, once you know this has been steamed properly, it's going to lay nice and flat, and you'll see just the squares. And hopefully you can see that in the photo that I have with the mushroom the Mario mushroom. But that is how you join if you have, you know, more than one granny square. If you're not doing a line of granny squares, which most likely you are not, you are doing a full Afghan. These corners can easily be hidden just by working your tail or this attachment, your join yarn in a circle around and then continuing on with your project. So I hope this is helpful to you. Okay, so I'm jumping back in here. I've cut off all my tails. I wanted to finish up some of this and I steamed it a little bit just so it was a little flatter. But this is our end result, and I left this one. This one has not been done yet. If I'm coming to the end of a project, here's what I will do just to secure this. And let's see, get my yarn in here. But if I have something at the end that needs to be secured before I'll actually, you know, work my border of single crochets or slip stitches around the border of the full project, I'll, you know, pull that tight, obviously. And then I'll come here down to a lower stitch and up and start straightening this end out as much as possible. Okay, so I'm on the other side, so now I'll flip over here and I'll just come back up through here as I look into the camera underneath the camera. Okay, so I'll come up and just, I'll do that so that I can square this off a little better, period, all the way around. One more. Okay, so I've got that square, and then I'll just come back around here and up, come through a loop, you know, pull, come through to make a knot, and pull tight. So it's up and into that area. But that's how I work my corner. And then I'll hide this in. Do that right now so you can see, because you can really get it hidden well in the stitches and never see this yarn just come back into that area and go through the yarn. Through the yarn. To hide the brown. Okay. Now you're obviously not going to be able to hide it on the end. That's okay. The point is just to, you know, get your yarn hidden as well as possible. Clip it off. And be done. But you got to remember all the while that you don't want that piece to shine or show through at all. So you'll just take it, give it a good tug, and get real close to the bottom there to cut it, so that it'll work back into your piece. So, of course, like I said, you're going to see that on the end. So when you make your border, that's going to be all hidden. But you see, we've worked our squares perfectly. We've got that all hidden in there, and you don't see the brown yarn anywhere in your project. And that's all we used for these end pieces. So hopefully this was easy to understand. Please subscribe to my channel if you are interested in learning more tips and tricks and new free patterns that will be coming out shortly from yarnwars.com. Come visit us in our Facebook group at www.facebook.com/groups /yarn wars, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.